All right, we're back. Peace, everybody. It's your boy Bleak. Welcome to another installment of Scarecrow's Chamber. All right, I'm gonna step back into the gaming realm on this one. And this franchise that I would like to talk about today is, I guess you could say, it's long overdue. It's a franchise that it hasn't been one before it, and I'm brazen enough to say I don't think it would never be another one after it. It was a franchise that was first launched on the Nintendo 64 back in 1999, I believe. That featured some of our all-time favorite Nintendo characters. It was a game that was developed in the beginning by HAL Laboratory. Some of you may know what it is. It's a game called Super Smash Brothers. Now, I could just remember the euphoria I felt when this game first launched. I mean, it was just such a phenomenal idea. I mean, just the four-player, you know, battle arena type stadium, arena type fighter, just battle royale style. It was just such a great concept. Like I said, it just wasn't. It wasn't a franchise like it before. It was the first of its kind, and this is a franchise that really stands out. And it's in a class by itself. I mean, nothing can be really compared to it. I mean, you had, I guess you could say, through some of the years, they've had kind of similar games that came out. For example, Sony had came out with a version of Sony All Stars, and in his own right, it was pretty good. It's pretty good, but it just wasn't Smash, you know. Now, when this game first came out, it had probably maybe like 10 characters, maybe total. It started off small. I mean, judging to what it is today, I mean, damn. I mean, the game today, like, seemed like it had like over 200 characters on it, but in the beginning, it started off, small amount of characters. You had your classics. You had Mario and Luigi and Donkey Kong and Link, and Pikachu, Kirby, Ness, Captain Falcon, Jigglypuff, Samus, and Ness. I mean, just some of your favorite characters, from your favorite Nintendo games back in the day. And just the stages that you will fight on. You had your Clash of Mushroom Kingdom stages. I mean, pretty much every character, well, not every character, the characters they had, stages that were based on their franchises. Like the Pokemon Arena, well, Saffron City was the first one, and then you had Hyrule Temple, and planet where Samus, or at least in one of the planets where on her game. And just to see how the concept worked, just the way the game was structured from a combat standpoint. All of the characters had different smash attacks. And your forward smash, up and down, and then you also had your special moves as well. And obviously, Mario being like the face of the franchise, of the face of Nintendo, really. He was like a really all around balanced character. So you really couldn't go wrong with Mario and Luigi as well. I didn't really warm up to Luigi, and probably until maybe the third installment came out, which was Brawl, and I'll get into that a little bit. But the character that I favored the most, it was unexpected to me. I mean, when I first played the game, the very first time I played it, I never expected me to favor Pikachu. Pikachu was like my main character that I played with the most. He's still my favorite character to this day. And I don't know, I guess it just felt like one of those moments where you really don't choose the character choose you. At least that's how it felt for me. But yeah, man, Pika, that's my boy, man. And, it's crazy just to see how all of the characters have evolved. I mean, how many we got now? We got the first one, we got Melee, Brawl, and Wii U, and now we got an Ultimate, and it just had a handheld one and stuff like that. I mean, Smash just came a long, long way. And I also liked Link too. Link was, one of my personal favorites as well. Link and Pikachu were like two of my top ones that I really stuck with, every step of the way. And of course, as the other games came out, you had more characters. In Melee, you had Fire Emblem characters, and you had your Ganondorfs and your Peaches and more Pokemon and stuff like that. And of course, the game had so many items that you can use, weapons and stuff like that. It's just so much to say about this game. I very much doubt that I don't think I can pack all this in 30 minutes, but I'm just gonna just ramble like I always do. But Smash, man, I can just remember, man, taking it back right around the time, mainly probably when Melee came out, just playing with my boys, man, and we just battling, man. Like we battling silence. You know what I'm saying? All you heard was just buttons and joysticks clicking the whole time. Like, you hear this. I don't even know if you hear that right now, but you just non-stop clicking, man. Like we was in the zone, man. Just back and forth, man. It was really intense. And that was mostly like the Melee day. That's when it kind of got competitive for us, us just battling everybody. And Melee was, and surprisingly to this day, Melee is very competitive still to this day. You still see a lot of, I guess you could say the pros, whatever. They still compete in Melee tournaments and stuff like that. I remember when I was on Twitch, and people are still going at it, man. Still going at it with Melee, because like Melee was very, very fast. It was a very quick game, and I think that's what a lot of competitors still like about Melee. It's the quickest one, and it's very combo centric, I guess you can say. Just the way that the competitors do it, and see them going to work, very, very crazy. So yeah, Melee was definitely one that really kicked it up a notch with me. But obviously the first one, first was untouchable. It's the one that started it all, man. It really has a special place. Anybody who's a Smash fan, the first one is like we all hold dear, because it started. It was the genesis. It started everything. Um, and then Brawl came out. Brawl. I consider Brawl probably the weakest out of all of them. But the thing about Brawl was the first one that where we can fight people online. Of course, Brawl came out for the Wii, and even though my buddies and I, we had our struggles with Brawl, we put a lot of time into it though, mainly because you can fight people online and stuff like that. Even though to this day, I still think that the Nintendo online play in terms of multiplayer stuff, like just the network, I really think that Nintendo Japan, they should step it up and stuff like that. They're still kind of behind in terms of online play, at least in my opinion. Still has a very older approach, but that's neither here or there. But yeah, me and my buddies, we played Brawl a lot, for the online play, doing 2-on-2s and stuff. And it got pretty intense, just going against random people and stuff like that. And Brawl was the one that introduced these things called Smash Balls. Smash Balls, for those who don't know, is basically during the course of the battle. Excuse me. During the course of the battle, you would have these little floating objects, and in order to equip the Smash Ball, you had to keep striking it to basically just to crack it open and get it. And once you obtain the Smash Ball, you would push your special button to do all of these super attack that each character had. And then I'm not gonna even go into all of them, but it was very, very appealing, especially when the trailer came out for Brawl. Like me and my boys, we were all excited to see it. All of our favorite characters doing all these super moves and stuff like that. It was pretty fascinating. Pikachu had the Volt Tackle and stuff like that. In Brawl, that was the one you had to control, and it was very, very hard to control. But it was powerful though. Once in terms of having to build damage and pushing the attack button to shock him and knock him off the stage and stuff, that was pretty much the concept of Brawl. For Smash Bros, people don't know. You didn't have health bars. You had health percentage. and the higher your health percentage go, because the point, for those who don't know about Smash, point is just to knock your opponent off the stage. Because all most of the stage was like these floating platforms a lot, and you had to knock your character off the stage and keep them off. That's how you know score. For those who don't know, but if you don't know what Smash is, what the hell is your problem? Where you been? But but anyway, I'm just explaining to the people who may not be familiar. Yeah, but it was health percentage, and you had to put on damage to increase your adversary's health and knock them off the stage with your smash attacks and your special moves. And they also had throws too, but not everybody had powerful throws. Some characters had powerful throws. Like Ness was one of them. Ness was another favorite of mine from the Earthbound series. The kid who had the PSI, mind power and stuff like that. Pretty cool. So he had some powerful throws. Um, and as the series went on, you still brought a lot of characters out there. And the crazy thing, even though Brawl had its problems and it had its difficulties, it's still something special about it. And the story mode in Brawl is still the best. Nintendo, they really, really took their time to give the players a full-fledged story, and just the way it was delivered in Brawl, it was beautiful. You had all of the different sections where some of the characters, they would link up with one another, and you had to do these segments and stuff like that. It's pretty it's a coincidence how ironic how my favorite character Pikachu and my boy Flame, his favorite character is Samus. And there was a segment where Pikachu is because Pikachu is a electric mouse, so he was pretty much used as a conductor, an electrical conductor, and Samus had to free him. And it's kind of crazy how they put Samus and Pikachu together in this little segment. So that was pretty crazy. But yeah, man, the story was so great, man, and obviously, the characters they introduced in Brawl, we had Sonic, a Sega classic character, Sonic, man. Who doesn't know Sonic? And you had Snake from the Metal Gear Solid series, man, and just another Fire Emblem character, and more Pokemon, and Star Fox, more Star Fox characters, man. Like I said, that's the one thing about this game is just the character output. Just more and more characters as the series went along, man. I can't even name all the characters now, man. It would probably take me this whole episode to do that. But but Brawl, man, like I said, it had its problems, but we put a lot of time into it. I could just remember, playing with buddies and stuff like that, and trying to do like team battles online, and some of those battles really got intense, man. But the story, I wish that the current one, Smash Ultimate, the latest one, I wish they would have did a story kind of like how Brawl did. Brawl, like, you really cared about the story, and it was a great addition. And it's crazy how like the weakest one had the most memorable story. It's crazy how that all worked out. Just seeing all the interactions with all the characters and stuff. Diddy's and Fox and just everybody. And the Wii U one, my buddy had that one. It was a step up from Brawl. Some of the things that were in Brawl, the Wii U one kind of fixed, but the Wii U one it kind of like came and went. It was like that one that they kind of like snuck in there, but it was kind of like we're just gonna give you another one that lead up to Ultimate. And but like I said, it was still Smash. It was still good. And now we got Ultimate. All of these characters, man. I'm not gonna even go through all of them, man. It's just way too many characters, man. And I would say, man, like all of the guest characters now, man, like, because the thing about it, like the newest Smash, it's a lot of RPG type characters on there, and these people are just power to the max, man. Like, it puts all of the legends to shame, like your Mario's and your Links and Kirby's and Pikachu's and Samus and stuff. They're still great characters. You look at some of these RPG characters that they put in the game, like Clouds and Shulks and who the hell is it? Like Bylaughing and those people, man. These sons of bitches, man. Excuse my language, but they are just terrible. Like it's like two hits and you done. And meanwhile, I gotta do like an ultra combo just to get you off the stage with certain characters, man. But some characters, man, like they is just power to the max, man. Like I remember the first time I saw this Byleth character, and then my boy and I we was going because as the months were going on, they will always add new characters. They kind of like did it like a seasonal thing, which is crazy. But when the Byleth character came out, like, and that's all we saw when we were fighting online and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, it really chapped my ass on that one, man. I was just frustrated. But Terry Bogard, that was a great addition. I still like Terry. I like to say Terry and P Piranha are probably the two additions that I like when it came to like the DLC characters that they came out with. Sora from Kingdom Hearts was a good one as well. And of course, with they still got the Smash Balls. A lot of people, but the one thing about the Smash Balls, a lot of people had like these cutscene Smash Balls and stuff like that. I personally really didn't care for them because it kind of takes you out of the element of the actual fight. I'd rather have like a Smash Ball, like a do-it-yourself Smash Ball with the fight still going on live, you know what I'm saying, instead of just cutting to a cutscene. I mean, some of them look really good just as far as cutscenes, but it kind of takes you out of the fight because you have to, watch the whole cutscene just to, knock somebody out and stuff, and it gets kind of irritating after a while. At least for me, it did. But there was a lot of times, throughout the years of us playing Smash, sometimes we play without items. We would just go straight up. That's what we did a lot. And even going against computers and stuff like that, we would just like to just fight straight up because sometimes weapons do get in the way and just random things blowing up and stuff like that. It was very irritating sometimes. And also as a combination of dealing with the stage hazards and stuff like that. And yeah, man, they added so many stages as the years went on. You got Sonic stages, Metal Gear Solid stages, and oh yeah, I forgot, man. They added Street Fighter characters too, man. You got Ken and Ryu on there. That was crazy. I didn't see that coming. And of course, over the years, there were certain characters that some of us wanted, and we never really got them. I'm not gonna even go through them, but no, the hell with it. I'll go through some of them. I've always, because since we got Sonic and Brawl, I've always thought that we would have had more characters from the Sonic series. I thought we was gonna get at least a Tails or a Knuckles, or like a Shadow or somebody, or even a Robotic, because normally when you have the hero characters, you get the villain characters and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we never got them. Never got another Sonic character, which was crazy. I was expecting more Donkey Kong characters. We had Donkey Kong and we had Diddy Kong. Thought we was gonna at least get Dixie or something like that, or even Baby Kong, and never got another one. Never got another F-Zero character. It was just Captain Falcon all the way. I mean, no Dr. Stewart, no Samurai Goro, no Blood Falcon, no James McCloud. It was just surprised we never got another one. We did get Ridley from Metroid. We did get Ridley. Wait a minute. No, we did get another Donkey Kong kid. We got K. Rool. See this? So I haven't played it so long. I almost forgot. Yeah, we got K. Rool. We did get him. But like I said, when you got a hero, you got to have a villain. So they did put K. Rool on there. Who else we got? Well, we got the little bastard, Bowser Jr., what I call him, little bastard. Got him. Just a crap load of Fire Emblem characters. Your Marths and your Roys and your Ikes and who the hell else, like Crone, whatever, the Lucia, and just so many people. They brought the wolf back because they had took him off on one of them. God, man, yes, it's just so many characters, and that was the one thing that we were always looking forward to. Once the latest game would come out, we'd always, who would they add next? What kind of stages they had next? And I would say that Ultimate, latest one right now, is probably the most solid one. It's very solid. But I would say the biggest downfall for that one is the as far as your single player stuff in terms of adventure modes and your story modes, is that is the number one thing that one lacks. For some reason, in the latest one, in Ultimate, we had like this type of board mode or something like where you collect like s- it, I don't know why I forgot what they're called, but I don't know why they added that in there. It's kind of like they try to add it like a RPG type of element, like collecting like these things to. I can't remember what they called, but it was very disappointing. And the story mode wasn't. It just wasn't up to par. It just wasn't what Brawl was in terms of the story mode. So I was hoping that we would get another one like Brawl, but Nintendo said, "What the hell with that?" Because at that time, of course, after Brawl, that's when they started doing like the tournaments and stuff like that, with Smash and stuff like that. But it was surprising to find out that people still play Melee in terms of competitive competitions and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's just even though they might come out with another Smash, how far are they gonna keep going with them? I mean, what more can they do after this one? I mean, we already got like 1,000 characters on there. Like, what on earth are they gonna do if they make another one? So that's the one thing that I um pigeonhole a little bit. Like, what more can they do? I mean, we got Mega Man. It's like, what are they gonna do? Add Zero now? I mean, just add more and more and more. That's the crazy thing about it because in this Smash, the latest one, they brought everybody back. At least I think they did. Did they? Did they have, or was Pichu? Pichu, I think was like I don't know, but this one, I'm sure they brought everybody back. Like I said, I can't remember it because I haven't played it in a while. But yeah, man, it's just a great concept of a game. It is by far one of the greatest video games ever made. It is like no other, man. Like I said, if you haven't tried it, what the hell? But I'm sure you have. I'm sure you came across it at least once or twice and played it. There's no gamer alive that doesn't know what Smash is. I just refuse to believe it. There's no gamer who doesn't. We all do. You may not be fan. It may not be your bag. It may not be your type of game. But we all know what Smash is. And oh yeah, and I would like to talk about also. I wish they had brought back some of the things that were in the first game. Like they got rid of the because that's the thing in the earlier games. Maybe the first three, they had different modes in terms of single player, in terms of like adventure modes and your story modes, the arcade and stuff like that. But they also had these things like the target mode and your board the platforms and stuff like that. There was a lot of things that they had early on that they kind of got rid of later on. It just seems like once the game got more competitive, it kind of shied away from all of the solo stuff, and then they went into a direction of just strictly battle. You know what I'm saying? Because of course now, all video games are online now. There's always an online multiplayer availability in every game that we play now, for the most part. If it's not like a single player story or something like that, and yeah, I would say that's the one thing that I do miss from the earlier days. Just more of the solo player stuff, and like I said, because back then, especially during the Melee time, I look forward of trying to collect all of the trophies and stuff like that, and I actually look forward to it. And sometimes you can pick them up during battle, but you can mostly find them through the adventure mode and stuff like that. Well, I forgot. Not as was it? It was another mode, arcade. It was some type of different mode in Melee where you can like target the trophies and try to collect them all and stuff like that. So it was just little things like that in terms of solo play that I loved about the earlier ones. Mainly the first three, I guess you could say. And also in Melee, they had like different modes. It was like different ways that you can play, like giant modes and fixed camera modes. It was all these different crazy type of modes and stuff like that they had in Melee particularly. I do remember that. I played it not too long ago, but it's just certain things that, and that goes for like a lot of different gaming franchises in general, where they always have this particular feature that you really, really like. They'll bring it in one game and then the next game is gone. I never understood why developers would do that. Like, I like this feature, why you take it out and stuff like that. And then 3 games in, you just long for it, you missing, you hope they bring it back. That was the one thing. That was the one gripe that I had when it came for the Smash Brothers or series. Just certain things like that in terms of the solo play that I wish they brought back. Because now, with Smash Brothers now, it's mostly just, get on, fight, and just we'll go online unless you want to be competitive and stuff like this, go online and stuff like that, because there's not a lot of stuff that's worth it in terms of solo play, at least in my opinion. It just doesn't have a lot of the solo stuff that it used to. But in terms of just the gameplay itself, it is solid. It's probably the most solid one. Ultimate, Smash was a game that it got better as the series went on, at least in my opinion. Brawl kind of brought it down a little bit, but it was all, but it wasn't just that huge drop. It's not like Brawl was just a crap game. It wasn't a crap game. It had its issues, and I would say it was the weakest, but it still overall was a great game. Like I said, it's still Smash. There's no such thing as a horrible Smash game. It never will be, I don't think. So, it was always a great game going forward. I'm surprised that Nintendo doesn't have like a collection where they just put them all together and you just buy them all together, like a little collection or something like that. I guess when the day comes where Nintendo stops making Smash, I doubt that they'll ever do that, because when it comes to Nintendo, Smash is like the number one, at least in my opinion, is the number one exclusive for Nintendo that's really keeping Nintendo alive, in my opinion. It is by far the greatest exclusive that they have, at least to this day. It ain't like how it was during the Super Nintendo days, man, when you just had so many different games, man. So many. You know what I'm saying? Back in the Super Nintendo days, man, Nintendo was pulling everything out of the hat in those days, man. They went all over the place, whether if it was side scrollers, beat 'em up, sports, shooters and stuff like that. Fighting games, puzzle games. They were just all over the place back in those days. And then, of course, when the 64 came out, they also had like wrestling games and stuff like that. I still say it to this day, man. The best wrestling game is actually made by a Nintendo. Is actually a Nintendo game. It was No Mercy. It's still the greatest wrestling game ever made, at least in my opinion. And man, I really wish they would put those in the Nintendo shops, like some of the stuff that was on the 64 days. They did do that recently, with the classics and the Super NES and the 64. So they're doing it currently. But yeah, man, it's nothing more I can say about Super Smash, but I can't praise it more enough, man. It is one of the greatest games of all time, and that's not hyperbole. It is a fact. It is a fact. It is one of the greatest games ever made, man. So props to HAL Laboratory for picking it up and turning it into something that was just great. And I don't think it's HAL Laboratory anymore. I forget the name of the company now that runs it. But yeah, man, Super Smash Brothers, man. If you don't know, now you know. Until next time, safe journey.